Bobby Chacon is with us, retired FBI agent and attorney. He packed camping gear, or it was in the car, but I assume he packed it himself. Even though he didn't know the victims in this case, it leads you to believe that this potentially was premeditated. How do you take that information?
Yeah, it's difficult. I kind of bounce back and forth on it because, as he's seen in that photograph you're showing now, leaving the bar, it doesn't look like he was prepared. It looks like, he's in his underwear or whatever, and he wasn't actually prepared to flee at that point. So it's unknown, but you're right. I mean, he had gear, which is troubling now because now you turn to the manhunt. Later we'll look at how he committed the crime, why he committed the crime when they catch him, when they have to prosecute him. But right now we have to find him. And if he had camping gear with him, that's an essential clue that he has the means to stay hidden much longer than, say, somebody who didn't plan on it or hadn't had camping gear. So it totally expands the time frame and the geographic area that you might have to look at.
Yeah, and the manhunt specifically, and we're looking at that terrain. I was in Montana on vacation in June, and we went on some trail hikes, and at the trailhead of every place we visited, beware of grizzly bears, and there are bears out here. I mean, you think about not just the terrain, but the wildlife that he may encounter, but also for law enforcement. I mean, there's some serious challenges to where he may be hiding.
Absolutely, Marnie. And I was involved in the Eric Rudolph search with the FBI back in the late 90s and early 2000s in the mountains of North Carolina. Similar, but even less drastic than these mountains in Montana. And so the geographic terrain becomes very challenging. And that's why this is a very manpower intensive effort. That's why you see 38 some odd agencies involved, because you have to throw a lot of manpower at this thing because it just takes so long to search areas like this safely, because you get people hurt. They start falling down. They start breaking limbs themselves, the searchers. And so you have to take care in environments like this, and you have to move so slow. And each day that he's not found, and each day that we don't get a confirmed sighting somewhere, that area grows and grows and grows.
Yeah, and if he's guilty of what he's accused of, just brutally killing these 4 people, maybe a grisly encounter is what he needs. What about the technology, Bobby, that they can use to try to heat sensor perhaps, or hone in on him from above without having to get into this terrain?
Yeah, I mean, we didn't have, when we were looking for Eric, lots of the technology they have today, like you said, drones and heat sensing technology, and they will employ all of those. However, like we face in North Carolina and like they face here, you have a very dense forest canopy in certain areas, which means the trees grow together and they form this kind of barrier that the drones can't kind of penetrate through, and that the heat-seeking technology can't make its way through. Now, the technology is better now, of course, but that's one of the problems they'll have, is that forest canopy gets so thick that you can't look from above. But in the places they can look through those trees, certainly they'll deploy drone technology and heat-seeking technology and things like that.
Yeah, well, I do hope they find him safely and they can bring him to justice. What a scary case, so let's just hope no more life is lost. Bobby, thank you.